like to know the biggest danger facing all singers and how to avoid it? This is huge, this last one, but most important one. And it's huge because most of the people that I meet, I don't care whether they're beginners, I don't care whether they're even hearing impaired, which I've taught, all the way up to professionals on the radio. Shows like American Idol, The Voice, any sort of reality show that features singers, they have to get to a certain level before you even get up on that stage. Have you ever thought of that? About what it takes to get there? This is where I come in. This is what I school people in and help people. I have people that have been on all the major reality shows. I have people that have landed record deals, that are on the radio, that are on television. And then I have people who are just doing it for fun. It doesn't matter what your level is. What matters is that you're going to invest this time and energy in yourself to be able to take it to a new level. See if you can guess this one, but I doubt you will. Most people won't. The biggest danger facing all singers is that they don't have a positive relationship with their voice. Do you want to know why that's dangerous? It doesn't matter how talented you are, how great you are, if you get up there and you give it your best, but the whole time inside you're going, oh my gosh, I'm doing this wrong, and you get off and you're like stressed out, you're not going to have a very powerful career. You're not going to be empowered. And even if you are already famous or doing well, you won't have longevity because you'll end up having a nervous breakdown. I'm talking about that little voice inside of your head that says, you did that wrong, you're going to screw this up, here comes this. It's a voice. Sometimes it's not always negative, but it is annoying. And so this voice inside of your head is what I call inner dialogue. If we put an N in front of it, it's negative inner dialogue, or NID. It's usually not saying, awesome, you're doing a great job, you're my best friend. I don't know why it doesn't do that. We get up in front of people and we expect to bare our souls to people. And we hope that they love us. And we haven't even made friends with our voice yet. What were we thinking? How am I going to feel comfortable if I don't even make friends with the part of me that's the most important? That's why it's so dangerous. It's dangerous to not have a positive relationship with your voice. We expect our voice to show up when we get up on stage and we feel like we've done our part. Okay, voice, you better show up or else. And we think we're going to beat it into shape. That's about the worst thing you can do to your voice. The reason is because your voice isn't just a piece of tiny fleshy flaps inside your throat that do this. Your voice is also connected to your mind and your soul. It's connected to the way that you think and the way that you feel. That's why when we're nervous and we sing, we get a lot of vibrato in our voice. Sometimes it's not there because we put it there. It's there because we're nervous. Right? Has that ever happened to you? You're singing and you're like, my voice is quivering all over the place. Oh, darn. And you hear it a lot louder than other people do. What does that have to do with having a relationship with your voice? Well, a lot. The first component, the most important thing you can do, is to make friends with your voice. Why would making friends with your voice be so important? It is not cheesy. Okay, a lot of people think, oh, well, that's for wusses. No, it's not. If you expect to get up on stage all by yourself, or maybe you've got your backup people there, but even still, you expect to get up on stage and do a great job, but you don't have your own back, you'll never be empowered. So it's important to make friends with your voice. We're going to use the idea of just making friends with a person to help us understand how to relate to our voice. So, let me ask a question. What do you do when you want to make friends with somebody? Maybe I would notice what you do well. I would notice what I like about you. You seeing the parallel? Notice what you like about your voice. No, it's not going to turn you into a wuss. A lot of my singers have thought that it would. They're like, oh, I don't want to get too soft on myself, then I won't work as hard. It's like, trust me, you'll work just as hard, but you will feel more confident within yourself if you learn to be more objective. And objective is the O in C.O.R.E. The reason I have that O there is so important because it helps singers to really be able to say, okay, I hit some bad notes here, and I really sounded nice in this part. And they're able to objectively look at their voice or observe without judgment. This is huge. 90% of singers cannot do this. So that's why you want to make friends with yourself. Most of you are in the hole. You've dug a hole. You feel like you do a lot of things wrong. You need to get out of that hole. How do you get out of the hole? notice what you do well, okay? That's the first way to make a friend. What's another way that you can make a friend? Or if you had a friend, how would you want to feel about that friend? All right, well, I'll just tell you. I would want to respect my friend. Respect means that I'm not going to put them down or pick on them or say negative things to them, but I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust this friend to show up the way I need them to show up. This is how I want you to be with your voice. I want you to trust it to show up the way that you need it to show up. Now, of course, you're going to give it exercises. Or whatever. Your relationship to your voice is key in becoming an empowered singer. We want your relationship to your voice to be positive, and the reason we want it to be positive is because if it's a negative, you will find yourself micromanaging your voice, you'll find yourself hating yourself, you'll find yourself experiencing a lot of unnecessary stress and bad feelings that you don't really need to have. Do you deserve that? Are you willing to settle for that? Or how would you like to feel amazing after you sing, no matter how well you did? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't work harder to get better, but along the process, if you're sticking knives into yourself, how is that going to help you? I want you to ask yourself, are you friends with your voice? Are you enemies? How do you treat it? Do you put a lot of pressure on it? Do you trust your voice? Do you support your voice? Do you listen to your voice? Not while you're singing. I don't mean it like that. But what I mean is, do you listen to the beauty of your voice? Do you listen to all of it and embrace and accept all of it? Or do you judge it? Do you put it down? Do you criticize it? Or are you kind to it? These are all components of how to relate positively to your voice. Now, this could be a whole book. And actually, there's a lot of information about this in my book, Finding Your Core Voice. And it guides people through a process of how to actually support themselves. Nobody talks about this, but it consists of more than 67% of your instrument. This is a muscle, okay? It takes time and energy to develop any relationship. And I will tell you right now that the quality of your relationship to your voice is the quality at which you sing. If you're very manipulative and perfectionist, right, and you're really have a lot of expectations and you get up and sing, there's going to be a rigidity and an intensity about you that might not be appealing to your audience. Even if you do sing perfectly and you're great, there'll just be something a little bit rough around the edges that it might actually be stopping you from having a successful career simply because you didn't make friends with your voice. We're talking about a part of you that 2/3 of it is your thoughts and feelings. That is why when I sing, if I am not clear, and if I am not emoting something, or if I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to screw this up, all that, oh my gosh, I'm going to screw this up energy is being conveyed to the audience. Does that make sense? It's the reason why you can hear someone sing and they might be perfect and you didn't care for it. Or maybe someone sang and they weren't perfect, but you loved it because you felt it. They moved you. They might have hit a bad note in there, but you're like, I don't care, because something in it moved you. This is what I'm talking about. But no one ever talks about how to get there. And that's why I'm addressing these things, so that you can understand how to have an empowered voice and avoid the 3 biggest dangers that all singers face. I really hope this video helped you, and I hope that you'll be able to apply the tool of simply allowing yourself to be who you are, being a little kinder to yourself, trusting yourself, having more respect for yourself, and noticing what you like about yourself. These things will help you to be able to build so you can get to the point where you can get in front of people and sing. I'm vocal empowerment coach Todman. And remember, empowered singing is more than hitting all the right notes. Just sing, just sing.